Hi, it's Auntie Jane. I'm out here watering my flowers, and I had a big surprise. Remember about 2 weeks ago, I had vines that were dying. My vines all over my wall, they had been cut and they were dying, and I was trying to train them and clean them up and hope that they'd be okay for next year. Well, this morning there was a really big surprise for me. I came outside and I found this. Look at these flowers. I can't believe it. Sometimes I get flowers, a few or a little bit here and there, but today I came out and my entire wall is full of these yellow flowers. I mean, what a surprise. Look at this. Look down here. I just feel like going and telling everybody. I'm gonna go tell some people. Can you believe this? So many flowers. I went and told everybody and they're like, I don't think they believe me. I said, there's flowers all over the wall. And they said, I thought they were dying. And anyways, I told them to come out, but they haven't come out yet. And it's reminding me of Easter morning, the surprise of Easter morning. Well, Jesus had passed away. Actually, he was put to death. And that was a terrible time for the disciples, his family, everybody that knew him. It was a terrible time for the world, actually, because he was God. And he came down to help us and to save us. But this was part of his plan. He could have got off that cross if he wanted to, but he actually went through that for us. Well, the disciples and friends and the mothers and his brother, everybody was so sad at this time. He had been gone now. It was the third day, and Mary Magdalene and Mary Cleophas came, and they were going to prepare his body. They went to the tomb and get it ready. It was their tradition to come in and take care of the body, and they were grieving. Well, before they even got there, the soldiers that had been guarding the tomb were in for a shock. They fell asleep and woke up and found that the stone that was covering the tomb, blocking it so that nobody would tamper with Jesus's body, was rolled away, and the tomb was empty. Well, they ran off. They thought, we're going to get in trouble. They went off to tell their superiors, I guess. But Mary and Mary came to the tomb, and they came inside, and he was gone. Gone. The tomb was empty, and they didn't know what to make of it. And then as they came out, and then somebody came and was talking to them. And they didn't know who they were talking to at first, and then it was revealed to them it was the Lord. It was Jesus. He was alive, and they had seen him go through that suffering and die. And when he left, they went to go tell the disciples, to tell his mother, to tell people. They were so excited, like I was excited this morning. And of course, that's a bigger excitement, isn't it? To find that someone you loved and was gone, was dead, is now alive. They ran to tell him, and the disciples couldn't believe the women either. I mean, Jesus had to reveal himself to the disciples as well so they would believe him. But it's the miracle of Easter morning that Jesus didn't die on that cross and be gone forever. No, Jesus rose on the third day, and he's alive. Just what he said was going to happen was true. He said he was going away, but he would be back. And he did come back. And because he went through that, we now have access to God. He did that so that we wouldn't be lost in our sin and condemned to death. He took on that. And I am so excited this Easter morning, just thinking about the cross. I like to think about an empty cross. We know what happened when Jesus was on there. But I like to think of an empty cross or a beautiful cross and remember the beauty in the resurrection of Christ. And today we're going to do a craft, and it's going to be about crosses. And we're going to make some beautiful crosses, some beautiful empty crosses, to remember that Jesus is not still nailed up there on that cross. He overcame death for us, and he loves us so much. So just remember today that Jesus loves you, he's alive, and he is with you. Hi, are you ready to make our colorful crosses? I've got all my supplies. Let's go over the list. You need paper towels. I like the best kind are the kind that have that cut in half style. If you use a whole one, that's okay too. But anyways, we're going to need vinegar, a little water, and food coloring. Okay, here's how we make our dye. Put water in a glass and add a tablespoon of vinegar. Oops, that was a little much. Vinegar kind of smells strong, so careful. And then you're going to add your dye. Here's my food coloring. Put 3 drops in there and see. Ooh, it's turning a nice blue. Do you like it? You can get a toothpick or a spoon and stir it up so it's all mixed up in there. Okay, now we're going to go on to the project. We're going to start with our paper towel. And if you see, come over here and see. I've got my paper towel just out like this. And I'm going to take the corner and fold it over. Okay, so it looks like that. The next step is to take this one, the left side corner, and bring it over to the right. Okay, now it looks like this. All right, here we go. Now we have this one here. Can you take a peek at this one? This is where we last stopped. And we're going to take the top. And you're going to bring the top down till you just see a little poke of the point sticking out. Okay? And we make a fold. Okay? So they look like this now. All right. The next step is we have this like this. And we're going to take the entire left side and fold it all the way over to the right side and press it down and fold it. So we have this. Okay, you can see that we have that folded over, and we're going to take our scissors, okay, and just close to the edge, we're going to just go straight across, and that you can get rid of. Here's our project, okay? Don't unfold it yet. We're going to take it over to our watercolors. So all the colors that you made, whatever colors you made at the beginning, you're going to want to use by dipping the corners. You have lots of little corners here into the dye. I'm going to start with pink. I'm going to put some pink right there on that center. I think I'll put blue over here. That's a nice one. Oh, I got another corner here, yellow. And if you want to add, if you want to make a new corner, you can do that by folding it in half. I'm going to add a little green. Okay? All right, and now we're going to come and unfold our cross. Okay, so lay your cross down on a piece of paper. I used a little parchment paper because it doesn't come apart and get wet. Gonna fold it open. You got to be careful. It's not really that easy to fold open. Fold it open, part way. Keep trying to open the pieces. Can you see? I'm getting closer. Let me see. Oh, I just can't get it. Somewhere. Once it's wet, it's kind of hard to see where your folds are. Just don't pull too tight, because that's when you get in trouble. Okay, it's opened up, and I spread it all the way out, as you can see. And I'll turn this around for you. I spread my cross out, and now I have a colorful cross. And every time you make the cross, it's going to be different. You can use different colors for different corners. And then I want you to let them dry. It might take a while for them to dry, or maybe you could put them outside. They'll dry faster. And you will have your colorful Easter Christmas crosses. So thank you for being with us today, and happy Easter.